Worth Memories Museum in groups. Running a little bit late this morning. 7:40. That front gate up there wouldn't open. I thought maybe I put the code in wrong, but I don't know what was up. So I sit there and let it rearm or whatever, and finally got it to open. Every once in a while, those keyless entry deals, something happens. So today is Monday, March the 3rd. And I've got somebody coming here in just a minute to drop off a car. So when they come, I'll in fact, I hear them pulling up now. Hold on. I'll go out there and meet them and make sure I got my keys. I do. I'll be right back. Hey. Yeah. Okay. All right, thanks. Okay. All right. Let me see here if I got everything. James is in, Missy's in, Carolyn, Lynn, and George. And Brittany, and the phone's ringing. I don't know where, oh, there it is. I say I don't know where it is. Yeah, I'm here. Looks like it's going to rain out there. I think it's supposed to tomorrow. Melinda's in. Cleburne. Good morning. Who was what? The first undertaking? Well, originally it was Gauze. George L. Gauze was the records are kind of sketchy back then. Either George Gauze or Dave Shannon started Fort Worth Undertaking. Yes. I think Gauze started it, and then Dave Shannon, the old man, in 1905, 06. 1906 was Fort Worth Undertaking. George L. Gauze, G-A-U-S-E. And then 3 years later, 1909, Dave Shannon started North Fort Worth Undertaking. This is before Fort Worth annexed North Fort Worth. Yeah, North Fort Worth was a complete different city. You had North Fort Worth, you had Niles City. These were separate cities inside Tarrant County. Yeah, so what happened is Dave, the older guy, who was in his 30s, I guess, in the 1900s, 1909, about 2 years after starting North Fort Worth Undertaking Company, Dave turned his business over to two of his three sons, which was J. Oliver Shannon and S.D. Shannon Jr. They bought Gauze out. I hope I'm doing all this memory because I don't have any papers in my head. They bought Gauze out. They modernized their business, horse-drawn hearse, where caskets you could see from the side when the street when it's going down, and horse-drawn ambulances. That's J. Oliver Shannon and his brother S.D. Shannon Jr. Then that was in 1910 or 11. It was really 1911. And then they brought their younger brother in, Marvin Boyd Shannon. Hey, Mommy. And so they ran it. And it was Shannon Funeral Home, Shannon Rose. They had burial cemeteries. Well, really, I don't know who was first. If it was George L. Gauze or S.D. Shannon. Dave Shannon. The old man went by Dave Shannon. He later ran for county offices and won. I'm not sure which ones. Then he ran for state rep, and there's something happened there. It was a real close vote, and he claimed foul, and I don't know how that turned out. You stumped me. Y'all finally got me. But on your question, I answered it. 1906 is when Fort Worth Undertaking Company was started, and my thinking is that George L. Gauze started that, and somewhere in there became a Ware, W-A-R-E, Gauze Ware Funeral Homes. But when in 1909, really it started in 1908, the old man Dave Shannon and George L. Gauze got into a dispute, and I think it was a gambling dispute is what it started as. Old man Shannon was pretty much a gambler. Anyway, they got crossways, so Shannon, this is my interpretation, Gauze started Fort Worth Undertaking. Dave Shannon started North Fort Worth Undertaking. Decided he could do more good in his mind becoming in politics, so he started North Fort Worth in 1909, turned it over to two of his boys, which was J. Oliver Shannon, which was the oldest, I believe, J. Oliver. Anyway, these boys were born about the same time. They had a younger brother came later, S.D. Shannon, and he's a junior. They took it over, and they made a real go of it. North Fort Worth Undertaking advanced business-wise, Tom's in, a lot quicker than Fort Worth Undertaking. Was that what? No, it didn't have anything to do with the proximity, more shootings in Stockyards area. That when you got to understand when the Stockyards and everything came around, that wasn't the Hell's Half Acre. That was just Stockyards. The meatpacking plants were opened in 1903. So that area, that whole area down there had stock pens. I mean, that's where they slaughtered cattle. So everybody down there, they weren't drinking and gambling. Oh, I mean, there was some, but nothing like Hell's Half Acre, which really didn't go away until 1919 or 1920. And it was at a small scale by then anyway. The acre was really popular in the 1870s and 1880s. Pamela's in. Good morning. Okay, one more time for the cheap seats. 1906, there was an undertaking company formed, and it was called Fort Worth Undertaking. I believe that was opened by George L. Gauze, G-A-U-S-E. Now, there's some people think that Shannon already had Ginger's in, good morning. Shannon already had a undertaking company and that George Gauze worked for him. I don't know. Gauze, I think, opened Fort Worth Undertaking 1906. In the next couple of years, Gauze and S.D. Shannon, Dave Shannon, got crossways that I think was over a gambling debt. Shannon left and said, well, screw you, I'll just go open my own deal. Open North Fort Worth Undertaking. And so, therefore, that really became another problem between them, is Gauze was saying, well, you stole my name, and just put North in front of it. And that, there was a grievance filed in court, but it never went to court that I can find. They just parted. In the old Democrat, it says they were friends. I really don't think they were friends, because Shannon, the old man, when he got into politics, he figured out that maybe these undertaking companies were then governed by laws, and he thought, well, I can hurt him by swaying votes or whatever. But I mean, he should have been smart enough to know that if you change the law to hurt Fort Worth Undertaking, it would also hurt North Fort Worth Undertaking. But anyway, so 1909, in fact, I think it was January something, the old man started North Fort Worth Undertaking. Yes, and it was located basically where Shannon's was on the corner of North Main and it's not University, it's Northside Drive, I guess. And my aunt, Ada, actually died in that Shannon's old folks home, which is on the corner where that QT is now. But it was Shannon's rest home or whatever you call it. Okay, so the old man, Shannon, decided he's going to get into politics. He figured out he could steal enough money in that. And so he turned it over to his two sons, J. Oliver Shannon, right? You're writing it down, that's okay. J. Oliver Shannon and J.D. Shannon Jr. They really made the business flourish. They offered horse-drawn hearse, it's not a T on the end, hearse, with fancy caskets where glass you could see from street level. And they had an ambulance that started, I think, originally horse-drawn. I'm not sure about that, but in any event, became motorized, and they were the first undertaking company that offered that deal. So they immediately got a contract with the city and the county because Dad is in county politics now. So they moved on up. You're talking about now 1918 or 19. They bring their third brother, little brother, Marvin Boyd Shannon, who's, I don't know, 7 or 8 years younger than J. Oliver and J.D. And I don't think that the Shannons and Gauze and Ware ever, because Shannon didn't need a partner to make their deal keep going. Gauze did, and so they brought Ware in, W-A-R-E, and so that was a real lucrative business, though, you know. And somehow I kind of think that one of the Shannon boys, and I don't know this for a fact, started selling like insurance policies that they had a crew of guys go out knocking doors saying, hey, you know, you might think about what's going to happen when somebody in your family passes on, and we can sell you something now while you're young, and you pay, I think it was 75 cents a month or something. Anyway, so I think they were kind of Johnny on the spot on the insurance prepaid burial stuff. Well, neither one of them really. No, because Greenwood overtook all of them. Okay, thank you. I hadn't thought about the Undertakers in forever. It's almost 8 o'clock. What was your second question? Oh no, there's still Shannons and there's still Gauzes and there's still Wares, family heirs here. But like I say, it was a real lucrative business. They made plenty of money. And they each tried to one-up each other, the Gauzes and the Shannons. And so then Gauze took in Ware to pad his piggy bank. Yeah. George L. Gauze, G-A-U-S-E. In fact, if you go to Memory's main page and put Hold on. Put Undertaker. I guess it might be under that. It's probably under Gauze or Ware. Yeah. No. Now here's a George L. Gauze from 1929. Undertaker, embalmer, funeral director. But there's earlier pictures. See here it says in 1879 Fort Worth was wide open. Population was 10,000 folks. No funeral homes or Undertaker. Livery stable owner George L. Gauze founded Gauze Ware Funeral Home. And there's a picture of Gauze and Ware, Pennsylvania and 5th Avenue. High class ambulance service day or night. Long motor service. What is long motor? LUNGMOTOR service. And that's their original over there on Pennsylvania. But there's some other. Well, now here is Undertaker Hugh M. Moore. His phone number was 20. Always open. Undertakers and embalmers. I'm telling when that photo was. Let me see if it says. 1914. So they were not ahead of Gauze or Shannon. Man, that's kind of primitive. Now here's G.L. Gauze undertaking funeral directors, 1859 to 1938. Started his undertaking business in Fort Worth in 1879 at 314 West Weatherford. There was his horse-drawn, and you can see, well, you can't see. That's old man Gauze on the top. But I'll post some pictures of it. There's a lot of pictures in the archives. Okay, anybody got any questions? I got to go out here and I got to call a friend of mine that does replaces inside on the cars that, like the air ducts on these older cars, 1990s or early 2000s, the air vents, he can replace those. And this older model Mercedes, that's what they drive. It's not really for me, it's for him to come look at it, see if he can fix it. He has to visually eyeball every one of them. Okay, so there I am. George is in, Brittany, Ginger, Pamela, Tom, Melinda, 12 others, Michael. So we've got 18 on the DFW Metroplex, 103 on the South Texas feed. Okay, y'all are out? Okay. Have a good day. It's gonna rain up here, I guess. Alright, so anyway, but both families did real well. They were the premier funeral directors here in Fort Worth for many years. And then at some point, other families became involved. Trey, what was Trey's last name? There was a guy named Trey that grew up my time frame. I don't think he was a Shannon or a Ware or a Gauze. Anyway, I can't remember. That's been too many years ago. He would have been about my age, but I don't think he's still with us. Okay, so please use our sponsors. If you know anybody in the painting business or tire store, they're missing a lot of business. Lynn, does the weather look yucky down there where y'all are? I did hear from our Tel Aviv group overnight. I didn't talk to them. They sent me a messenger message. Said that don't believe that things are hunky-dory over there, that there's still major issues. They're back in their homes, but so we ended up losing a whole complete family out of that October 7th bombing. I stood corrected. They told me the real 2 got killed that day at the hospital. Then the daughter died 7 months later, and the father died from his wounds a year or so after that October 7th bombing. Wiped out a whole family, and all they were doing was taking their son to hospital. He was either on dialysis or something where he had to go pretty often, and they were there the day the bomb hit. Killed the mother and the boy immediately. Anyway, so we've got another week. We're in now the 3rd month of the year. The giveaway is December 13th this year. Don't know where we're going to eat this week. Had a good lunch at Kincaid's Saturday. Quite a few showed up for that. It was packed. I never can get a good feel on when to go to Kincaid's. I think James and all of our opinion is it was just a pretty Saturday, and everybody decided to get out. Probably the first time they had been out in 3 or 4 weeks. This weather has just been brutal. Okay, so I will let y'all get your coffee or breakfast or whatever. Don't forget, the museum is going to have donations to continue. I can assure you of that. So somehow I either got to have help on it or cut the amount of the rent down. One or the other. Something's got to happen. I can't fade this $5,000 a month anymore. It's about to bankrupt me. So I don't know of anything that's going on really. The feds break up alleged Guatemalan human smuggling. Oh, I tell you, that's horrible. I listened to a story the other day. So most of those people that are smuggled into here are indentured slaves forever. It ain't like we're going to sneak you in there and you work 1 year or 2 years. Hell, they work forever for them. Captive. You would think those people would revolt and kill those people. I mean, surely if there's 20 slaves in a house and they come every morning to take you to the factory or whatever, you never hear about them catching them. And the employers that hire them, knowing they're slaves, they need to put their ass in prison too. Anyway, I see that when it generates what I say, it blocks out any cuss words. It wouldn't say ass. Didn't know that. Alright, let's do the sponsors. We love our sponsors, we just need to start using them. There's Winstead Paint and Body. They're very active in our bicycle giveaway and very active in being a sponsor. Scott Sumner is our IT guru. If you need a website built or technical issues, contact Scott. Fort Worth Florist, Jeanette and her team over there are very active, ready to do business with you. All you got to do is call them. You got to make the first move. Alpha Design and Build is Lance Sanders' company. If you need something remodeled, a room remodeled, a part of your building remodeled, or you want a second story on your house or home, he does both residential and commercial. G2 Garage is Chris and his team over there are ready, willing, and able. They're in the White Settlement area. All you got to do is call them or drive over there, and they'll be happy to take care of you. Feltz Family Auto Care. Mike Feltz and his family run and operate that. They've got several technicians. They get a bunch of good reviews too. Jerry Schwartz and his partner Hanson are our architectural sponsors, and they also are very active in the bike giveaway. Stroud Auto Supply, Danny Stroud and his team over there. That's second generation. I used to buy parts over there when I was 16, so that was when Danny's father had it. Medicare and Medicaid. Don't try to navigate that deal. Get a hold of Casey Crawl and let them send out a expert. These folks know Medicare and Medicaid. They'll meet you at their place, your place, or somewhere in between. Rex's Bar and Grill, Rex Benson. That is the premier #1 sports bar in the Metroplex. They're ready for March Madness. Raines Plumbing, that's a family-owned business. We really support family-owned businesses. So when you need a plumber, call Raines Plumbing. Railhead Barbecue, Charlie Guerin. Charlie is our state rep. He's on the board of Larry's Kids. Longtime sponsor, very active in the bike giveaway. Optimist Club of Fort Worth. They are international. Optimist Club is everywhere. So they help with all kinds of projects, scholarships, anything to do with youth. Jeff Norman is the local guy that I deal with. Passport Getaways is a travel agent. If you need to book a cruise, a flight, whatever, you want to go, your family's scattered across the U.S. and you want to have a reunion at Vegas, let them do all the legwork. All you have to do is supply the money and go enjoy yourself. Old South Pancake House, another Rex Benson owned business, family owned business. Old South has been in the Benson family since 1962. Great family. There's the one on University is in the same parking lot with Rex's Bar and Grill, and the one on University is open 24/7. The one in Burleson closes at 9 or 10 at night. Jenny Stewart is our State Farm rep. What can I say? Jenny and her team are ready, willing, and able to give you a quote, try to save you some money. If you're using somebody else, State Farm, Freeway, Farmers, call and get Jenny's team to give you a quote. That's a very, very reputable company, Allstate, or State Farm. Cross Electric, Brandon Cross. They are our electricians. Another family-owned business. They were also nominated on that DFW favorites, and I'll post the link where you can vote for them. Vote for them. Let's see if we can help them get across the finish line. K Ranch Roofing, Jorge Hernandez owns that roofing company. He's been a roofing sponsor of ours for years. If you think you might have roof damage, don't try to climb up there and see for yourself. You'll fall and break your leg. Call and you'll get Bree on the phone. She'll schedule you an appointment that works for you and them. I'll get to it in a minute. And they'll send out one of their specialists, and then you'll know for a fact whether you have damage or not. Fort Worth Lumber is on the South Freeway. It's on 35 South. Longtime sponsors of the group and longtime active in our bicycle giveaway. Express Dent, they're located on White Settlement Road, basically across from Audubon BMW. The gentleman's name is Eric. So if you got hail damage, door dings, anything like that, that's the place to go. Grateful for Your Trees is Dickie Carr. He is Richard Carr's nephew. Dickie does, you can see all the stuff, landscape, fences, haul off, all types of stuff hauled off, demolition, sells firewood, arborist. They do anything to do with trees, trimming them, cutting them down, grinding stumps. Call and let them give you a price. Dickie Carr Sand and Gravel, that's Pat and Richard Carr. They are active in all things Fort Worth and Tarrant County, believe me. Great folks. Burt Ladner Real Estate. Wes Williams is on our board of directors at Larry's Kids. Longtime member of the group, knows all of y'all. He is associated with Burt Ladner Real Estate. Coburn Catering, Steve Coburn. The Coburns have been in business since 1946. They used to have a cafeteria over there on North Main. They're still on North Main. They just don't have the open cafeteria. They still do catering for all kinds of events, all sizes, parties or events. Call Steve Coburn. Eric Walsh is a real estate individual, can handle any real estate you got. If you want to know how, when, where, what price, Eric can take care of it. He's also on the board of Larry's Kids. A Bird AC and Heating, that's Dub Peacock. He's one of the Peacock boys. Polly. So if you've got heat or air issues, call A Bird AC and Heating and let them get somebody out there to tell you what we got. Yellow Snake Horses, Brazos River Ranch. You can go out there during the week or on the weekend. $75 for 90 minutes of riding a horse. You don't have to be a horse person. It can be your first time. She's real good. They've got 180 acres out there. We're planning on having a picnic out there. They're about an hour's drive from the city. So get out in the country and experience country life. Okay, been real, been fun.